All right. This was brought to my attention by way of somebody that follows me on Twitter. So big shout out to you. And he shares this with me in his video, this baking show called Nailed It. And the lady has absolutely brought this show up. But I guess they have people that are part of it. I don't know in what context, as judges, as people that also cook. I'm not familiar with the show. I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about the show. Complete normie in that regards. I've just heard of it and seen commercials and stuff like that. But Felicia Day is an actress. I'm not going to pretend like I'm that familiar with her. And she is on the show, and I don't really know the context, but this is the video. We'll kind of discuss. Let's take a look at this.
Felicia, what are some of your favorite Marvel characters?
Oh, good question. I love Dark Phoenix. And then my other favorite character lately is Ms.Marvel. She's the first Muslim superhero to really anchor a comic book.
So you're like a Felicia.
Okay, so let's analyze that, right? All right, I guess I got to start off by saying, look, I have nothing against normies. As much as I talk about you guys, it's not. Look, I don't have an issue with normies at all. Actually, a lot of my fan base consists of normies that come watch my videos, and they like to hear my perspective, like to hear me talk about some of these comic book characters, and so forth. So I have nothing against normies. But when the chick asked, like, "Oh, so you're a real comic nerd?" I was like, I wish he would have took a video of what the answer was. And there are jump cuts, so maybe there's context that we're missing, which is not unusual for a show like this. It was just so weird that the characters that she names, right, in Dark Phoenix, I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say, like, they've referenced Jean Grey and Phoenix Force, but to just say Dark Phoenix as like a favorite character is, I don't know if there's a whole lot of people that I've ever heard say that, but maybe she just really liked her as a villain. Fine. But the next bit feels like a line fed because it breaks it down as if someone that is like somebody from Marvel or maybe the person that created Kamala Khan used this as like, to pitch this, right? Like, in the way that she defines it. And it's like, she's like, oh, well, she's the first Muslim character to really anchor a comic. Like, okay. You know what I mean? And again, weird thing to bring up when you consider my tongue's blue because Sonic Slushy. So I'm not even going to apologize for that. I shouldn't apologize for that. But yeah, it's kind of weird. First Muslim anchor. Well, first of all, I do want to be clear. Dust is a way better and more interesting Muslim character than Kamala Khan as Ms. Marvel. I just want that out there. But it was just so weird to hear her say that, like she did. But the end bit was what got me. And this goes back to sort of what I was saying about when it comes to, modern comic book culture, it's become more mainstream, but it's that odd sort of gray area of mainstream because it's mainstream in a sense that people recognize this as things that are more like socially acceptable than they've ever been. You're getting a lot of live action films, but not necessarily, it's not leading to more like sales, let's say, in the comic books or anything like that. It's just more of the culture has become more mainstream. So you get people that, just to hear an answer like that, and I would love to maybe interview Felicia, excuse me, because it kind of almost validates what I've been saying about this and how, you get these shows and you get people talking about these. It's more of, it's less about people that are really knowledgeable on the comic books and more about, okay, this person has a brand name and they are there to sort of highlight certain things. And because it's a cool thing to talk about, they just say random things. I don't for once believe anybody that answers the question like that is actually well versed in like let's say Marvel. Let's say that. I'm not even going to include other companies because I believe she's maybe even wrote a comic and stuff. But I'm talking about like Marvel, right? It's like, okay, I like this character, and look, I like this character because it's a social like approach to it when you consider the fact that Muslim character, yada yada. She made sure she had to bring that up, right? It's like just so weird. But that's sort of what I've seen. I've seen even with Marvel themselves and some of the podcasts that they do. It seems that yes, you have your writers and stuff, but I think some of that, and when you get pop culture, Hollywood, right, that are starting to latch on a lot more to the comic book culture a lot. You're creating, dare I say, posers. But those posers are going to get the most attraction because, again, they have brand names in other fields. So when they validate something, it looks good for Marvel, it looks good for these guys, and it looks good for themselves to say random stuff like that. But I would absolutely follow that question up like, okay, is that the only reason why you like Ms.Marvel is because she's just this anchored Muslim character? You know what I mean? And what about the Phoenix Force? Or more so Dark Phoenix. It's almost like that. I'm pretty sure that this came out like right when the movie was dropping. And I don't know. It's just such a random answer, but I feel like it's something that I can point to that sort of just puts a spotlight on what I've been saying. And some of this is why I think that your books are going to get, with Marvel and even with DC, are going to get worse before they get better, because a lot of these types are becoming comic book writers, and they're infiltrating. And not just comic book writers, screenwriters of comic book films, right? So they are being a part of culture that maybe they are only with or being a part of now because it's popular. Let's just be 100 with it. It's popular. And I love for more people to get involved in comics. I'm not a gatekeeper. I think it's cool that people get involved in comics. And I would love for them. There's no need to front. And also, there are people that think that their social preferences should sort of cloud, dare I say, comic books and the character. So that's why I feel like a lot of these writers are egotistical, because they feel like, oh, it's about me. Therefore, I will get picked up by Marvel because of whoever back I scratched. And now I'm going to put forth whatever social preference that I have in this book. You know what I mean? It's just kind of how it is. But I would love to know what you guys think about this. That was such an odd answer. That was such an odd answer, man.